The Bilderberg Group meet in Lisbon and decide on banks and AI artificial intelligence. The 69th meeting of the Bilderberg Club, a secret conference of the world's elite, kicked off in Lisbon, Portugal, with issues such as transnational threats, artificial intelligence, and U.S. leadership in global affairs on the agenda. This year's meeting, the latest in a series of meetings that began in 1954, continues to blur the lines between open diplomacy and clandestine elitism as political leaders rub shoulders with industry, bigwigs, media barons, and tycoons of the financial sector. The media write that a sound system and a light installation have already been brought into the place for the next meeting of the Bilderberg Club, to the disco dedicated to the 100th anniversary of Henry Kissinger. The playlist will most likely include Firestarter, Great Balls of Fire, Burning Down the House, and other songs with the words Flame and Realpolitik in the title. In 2022, the meeting was attended by the CIA boss, NATO boss, Pfizer, CEO Henry Kissinger, Jose Barroso, ex-president of EU Commission, many high-ranking U.S. security officials, editor-in-chief of The Economist, and the full list of participants for 2022 can be found in the link here. As usual, the details of their discussions remain secret under the Chatham House rule, a protocol that gives participants the discretion to use information gleaned from the conversations, but prohibits the identification of speakers or participants, ensuring the anonymity. Due to the confidential nature of the meeting, attendees are participating as individuals and may not in any official capacity, and are therefore not bound by the contracts of their office or pre-agreed positions, as Bilderberg meeting press release. And among the topics to be discussed are artificial intelligence, the banking system, the energy transition, industrial policy and trade. Other high priority issues include the geopolitical landscape of Europe, China, India, Russia, and Ukraine, along with NATO and the America's global leadership. The issue of U.S. leadership, which last appeared on Bilderberg's agenda in 2018, is in the news as China and Russia have stepped up efforts to reduce reliance on the U.S. dollar as the world's preemptive reserve and transaction currency. Agenda and participants. As for the agenda, artificial intelligence, banking system, China, energy transition, Europe, fiscal challenges, India, industry policy and trade, NATO, Russia, transnational threats, Ukraine, U.S. leadership. The topic at the top of the agenda will be artificial intelligence. The head of ChatGPT will meet Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, DeepMind CEO Denis Hassabis, and former Google CEO Eric Schmidt at the annual Bilderberg meeting. Technology giants will discuss issues relating to foreign affairs, trade, energy, and finance with political figures such as former U.S. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger and NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg. The closed meeting will be attended by about 130 participants from 23 countries, as in previous years. Among those present will be Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla, BP CEO Bernard Looney, Total Energy CEO Patrick Pouyanné, investor Peter Thiel, and several European Union politicians. The event will last 3 days, from May 18 to May 21st, so tomorrow is the last day, and will be shrouded in a veil of secrecy as always. The full list of participants in the semi-conspiracy meeting of the Bilderberg elites was published less than 2 days before the event. Some people hold these theories similar to those that arise regarding other high-profile meetings, such as the World Economic Forum, WEF, in Davos, Switzerland. They claim that the participants aim at establishing a new world order. However, the organizers of the event say that the confidential nature of the meeting encourages freedom of discussion. The organizers of the event claim that about 2/3 of the participants come from Europe and the rest from North America. Approximately 1/4 of participants represent politics and government, while the rest are from other areas. Women make up about 1/5 of the total number of participants. The key aspect is confidentiality. Participants attend as private individuals, not as official representatives, and the detailed agenda is not disclosed and discussions are not subject to reporting. The event is organized by the Bilderberg Group Foundation, which is managed by a constantly changing steering committee and funded by various sources. A statement on the Bilderberg meeting website indicates that the annual contributions from the members of the steering committee are used to cover the expenses of the small secretariat. The secretariat's budget is limited to staff and administrative costs. Representation costs associated with holding the annual meeting are borne by the members of the steering committee of the country that hosts the meeting. So in this case, Portugal. Participation in the event is by invitation only, and each participant bears their own travel and accommodation costs. Now, conspiracy sources often mention an expert from the speech by David Rockefeller, allegedly delivered by him at a meeting of the Bilderberg Club in Baden-Baden, Germany in 1991. We are grateful to the Washington Post, New York Times, Time Magazine, and other major publications whose directors attending our meeting and honored their promise of confidentiality for nearly 40 years. It would have been impossible for us to develop our plan for the whole world if it had been made public in those years. But now the world has become more complex and it's ready to go to the world government. The supranational sovereignty of the intellectual elite and bankers of the world is undoubtedly more preferable than the national self-determination practice in past centuries, he said. And the truth is that the secrecy surrounding these meetings has sown rage of unproven theories, including that participants are behind the creation of the European Union. This is on Soul Ask. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.